We're back together again. Ben and Marshall.
Back together again.
Yeah.
We're back together again.
Yeah.
Watching movies, talking about movies. Back together again. Welcome, everyone. It's Ben and Marshall Do Podcast. It's a podcast that we do, and we're going to do it today. It's going to be really good, maybe the best one ever of all time. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, this could indeed be a podcast. It could be a podcast. It is going to be a podcast. And that is and that is what we're most excited about, that we're doing a podcast.
I don't know if it's what I'm most excited about, but I'm certainly excited about it.
Hey, I'm excited that you're here. Hey, look at you. Look at you, you little face over there on my screen. As we practice safe social distancing from the comfort of our own bedroom. Do you ever use it?
Right.
Do you ever use it as an excuse to say, we could also just Zoom?
No, I don't really have friends.
I was gonna say, because I'm over here like checking my fantasy league and responding to emails, and that's mostly just what every time I do something on Zoom, that's what it is. It's an excuse to not really have to pay attention. So welcome to
the pandemic at large. Hasn't really changed how I live that much. Which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
I just, I was never someone who really hung out with people that much.
Right.
In general. So the Discord has kind of always been my guys and my hangout and everything.
Yeah.
Which, like I said that on Thanksgiving. I was like, I'm really thankful for you guys. Because this has always been my community, and even more so now. And it's a really big thing for me. So that's why, I get on there at 3 a.m. to play Just Cause 3 for 5 minutes.
Good morning and good night. So that's interesting. I feel like that's kind of unspoken. The people who the pandemic didn't really change their life. Do you feel as though there's some big thing happening that everyone on social media or everybody out there is like, oh, this is so hard. My life is so different. And you're just kind of is it hard for you to relate and connect with people in that? Or is it kind of just what it is?
I think to a degree, yeah. Because, I still, go to work and I'm masked up and everything. And most things are unchanged because, I don't have all these extracurricular activities or anything. I'm not someone who's out there playing sports or anything or going to grand dinners with friends or whatever, hanging out, having parties. That's just not me.
Yeah.
But then the one thing where I was able to kind of relate was then I was exposed to COVID at one point. I never got it, but I was exposed, so I had to stay home for 2 weeks.
Did that feel different? That felt different?
Rough. Yeah.
So even though you don't really go out and do that much stuff anyway, you're still locked up, can't leave, can't interact with people, and that felt different even more than just being kind of an introvert or kind of just being a homebody to be forced to.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Interesting.
Yeah, because the Meadowlark is my home. I come here to sleep, essentially. I come here to sleep and play video games.
Right.
But I do all my productive things at the Meadowlark. Yeah. That's the only place that I can get things done, it feels like 90% of the time. So not being able to go there, or when they were closed for the whole beginning of the pandemic, I was I guess I'm not going to achieve anything for this amount of time. Which was mildly accurate, but I also had a pretty badly broken arm for a lot of that time.
Right.
So that was another obstacle to achieving things. But
that's interesting. Yeah, just even the ability to go and be surrounded by a lot of people, even though you may be people may be inclined to be more introverted, but it also just taking away the option to go and be around people that I don't have to talk to or people watch is still, that's interesting. Yeah, I feel like there's a big portion of our society who, or they're larger than I have thought in the past, of people who, in the pandemic, not much has really changed for them. Yeah, that's interesting. Thanks for bringing that up.
Just weird. Yeah. It's really weird.
Yeah. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. You're not weird. You're Marshall.
Thanks. I would like to have more, relational connections with people and friends, and, especially, people closer to my age group and stuff. Which has always been something that I've had difficulty with and struggled with. It's just I've always related more to adults and people that are older than me. But now I'm at the place where those people are the people that are more close to my age. But because I've never related to them when I was that age, I'm not friends with any of these people.
Right.
So it's like it's an interesting place to be in. So
yeah,
getting real at the beginning of this movie comedy podcast.
Yeah, that's why we just sit at home and watch movies on our own and then talk about them.
That's great.
Yeah, social
At some point, I think we should try to, like, if we can, watch them over, like, the Discord together, like, sync them up. I feel like that would be a fun thing to do.
For sure. That would be fun. Yeah, and we could just, like, invite whoever else wants to join to watch with us. A little movie night. We all pop some popcorn. That'd be super fun. We should do that, for sure. Invite whoever. Invite it out to the listeners. We can have a listener night where the listeners can watch with us.
That'll be like a Discord thing, or like a Patreon thing. You get the special code and you can join in.
Yeah, $5 a month. One $5 Tuesday a month. You get to watch a movie with us a month. Boom.
Yeah.
Welcome to Patreon.
I've been meaning to kind of pivot the Patreon over to being also for the podcast as well. And I feel like that's going to be a lot easier to do with the new state of the podcast. So
yeah, because I'm way cooler. So
maybe slightly. You never know.
Anyway, what's up first, Marshall? I'm still new to this whole Ben and Marshall do a podcast thing. So what's first on the docket here?
Well, do you have the show notes open?
No, I don't have the show notes open. I could do that though. Don't mind my clicking over here. Gmail, Drive.
It was a very like small thing that didn't really come up much, but it was very convenient when you would every once in a while just kind of like note the show notes and like make light of them. Like
that they exist.
This is interesting. This is like, huh.
Hey guys, we actually have ideas of what we're doing in a maybe I can be the schedule guy. I'll try to keep us on schedule. We'll try not to have another hour and a half episode this week. Let's get into it. People are tired. People are ready to hear about the movies, hear about the pop culture, hear about the things you've been doing. Let's do it.
What have I been doing? I'll tell you, or I won't.
Okay.
It might be a secret. Here's the news. That's the news theme song. So, welcome to the news segment. My name is Marshall Parrish, and I'm here to tell you the news. Did you know, Benjamin Herbal, that there are rumors? And
they told you about my rumors. Oh my gosh,
I know the secrets.
Oh my gosh,
I know everything.
I hoped it
up now.
I hoped it wouldn't come out on the podcast, but here we are.
Well,
what are the rumors?
The lines.
What are the rumors, Marshall? What have you heard?
Well, let me tell you, it's not going to be flattering to you. Just kidding.
Yeah, it's not about
the rumors are that Hideo Kojima, who created Metal Gear Solid and has created all those games up to this point, except for Metal Gear Survive, which is a horrible disaster and garbage, and that's a whole thing in itself. There are rumors that the Silent Hill game that he was working on, that has become legendary after its cancellation, that is returning with him on board.
What? What a rumor.
There's no way.
What a rumor.
That it will ever live up to the expectations and the hype that PT gave it. PT, are you aware of this? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't know. Fill me in as a listener who doesn't know what you're talking about.
So Silent Hill is a classic horror video game franchise. You might be more familiar with the movie. I think there might have been a couple movies, actually, which the first one, I think, is based pretty more or less closely on the first game.
Okay.
And the Silent Hill games, as opposed to Resident Evil's always been like traditionally like just a zombie game, like a regular classic kind of zombie game. Silent Hill has always been more of like the crazy psychological horror. Like everyone is some kind of like, it's a mental thing. It's like psyching you out, but it's like super, super freaky. It's a lot darker than Resident Evil.
Okay.
And it's a lot more psychological horror. There's still like monsters and stuff, but I would say if you really want to be scared, play a Silent Hill game.
Gotcha.
And Kojima, man, my nose always does this. Kojima, famous for the Metal Gear games, these convoluted, crazy stories, was going to be working on a game called Silent Hills, which is going to be kind of a reboot.
Plural.
And it was going to star
multiple hills.
Norman Reedus.
Oh, Norm. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, from The Walking Dead.
Oh.
That's Daryl.
I see.
Daryl Dixon.
Yes, okay. Also star of, what's that other game where he's got a baby? What's that alien one where he's like with a fetus?
Oh. Yeah, that is Death Stranding.
Death Stranding.
Also made by Hideo Kojima.
Oh, really? Wow, all the connections.
So after the cancellation of this, they were like, we still want to work together, so they made that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So there was this whole debacle with Kojima getting fired from Konami, the company that he's been like their main guy for like a million years. And we still don't really know exactly what happened, but it was this very strange thing where they just like threw him out like garbage. And there was outrage. People were super mad, and that's part of why like Metal Gear Solid 5 is a really, really good game, but when you get to towards the end of it, it's very apparent that they didn't finish it. Like the story isn't really done, and there's a lot of like unfinished missions that didn't make it in. It's a really weird, confusing thing. You should watch a video on it because it's really, really fascinating, honestly.
Okay.
But Silent Hills was going to be this huge thing, and they released this thing called PT, which is called it stands for Playable Teaser.
Okay.
And it's just this short, like not even an hour long teaser trailer for the game, essentially, that is so good, like freaky as hell, and it's so good. And then it got canceled, and now they took that off of like the PlayStation Store. You can't get it anywhere. PlayStations that have it on it go for like a lot of money. It's crazy, the mythos behind this thing. So the idea that this would even possibly be coming back is kind of huge.
Okay.
But there's no, from my perspective, I don't think there's any way that the full release of this game, as much as I want it, there's no way that I think it can live up to the hype that PT has built it up to be, this mythological greatest horror game of all time that doesn't exist.
Gotcha. People have, it's just like any other fan thing where people start dreaming about what it could be, and then it can never be what you dream it of.
This is my version of The Last Jedi, and it would have been a million times better. Like, did you see the episode 9 Colin Trevorrow's original script? That would have been so much better. It's like, well, you really don't know that until they make it, honestly.
Yeah.
Same thing, like there was a Darth Maul game that came up a while back that we never knew about until we found out that it was canceled and we saw gameplay of it. And it's just it's been hailed since then as it would have been the greatest game of all time.
Right.
It's like you've seen a few developer videos.
Right. Yeah.
It probably would have sucked. They canceled it. We don't know.
Right.
So I don't know. I want it to be good and I want it to happen. I am inclined not to believe the rumors just because of the weird, messy situation with Konami and Kojima.
Is it worth? How old is Silent Hill?
Silent Hill is a pretty old franchise. That's like the late 90s.
Yeah, that looks old. 1999, January 31st. Whoop.
Wow. It is like 7 months older than me.
Wow. Yeah, that looks a little. One of those old games that maybe is a little scarier now, just because the graphics scare me more than anything. It's like, oh my gosh.
The graphics really played into the game itself though, because you couldn't have like big draw distances or anything.
Yeah.
So it was just like the game was mist incarnate, fog and mist incarnate.
Yeah, because
you couldn't see anything anywhere, so they just used that to their advantage.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it does look a little scary. It really does.
Yeah, look up Pyramid Head.
Pyramid? Oh, I see that. Is that like why did they have a huge sword? Who is this person?
I don't know, man. He's the freaky guy that you're playing the game and you just hear this giant metal scraping somewhere and you just lose your head because you know that Pyramid Head is coming.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, it's terrifying actually.
I believe it. Oh my gosh. Hey, speaking of scary games, I just picked up on the Steam sale Dead by Daylight. Have you played it?
I haven't.
Okay.
I would get it. Well, now the Steam sale's over.
Yeah, it's back up.
I wish you'd told me. I would have gotten it.
Sorry, my sister and I are gonna be playing it. So I should have told you about that. Sorry, it was like down to like $8 or something like that. Super reasonable for the amount of
I'll look
hours.
at what it's at and where my bank account is at.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. You.
I was about to say you had to break down the price into like hours per minute. Like the real gamers, when they look at their Steam library, they break it down by like per dollar or per cent. How much did it cost me per minute of gameplay? Because at this point, it's whatever it is. Well, $8 per 0 minutes. But then it'll slowly break down.
That's a bad return on investment.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll see. Speaking of scary games, I'm curious how fast it will continue to be fun or if it'll get old or not.
Yeah.
Anywho,
we should do an episode I was thinking in my head we should do an episode on like scary video games, but then I thought it's not October. We should do an episode.
Oh yeah,
on,
we should
like,
save that
the
for
best
next
Christmas
year.
movies.
Yeah.
Next week or
Oh
something.
yeah, we should do that. Yeah. Like our own personal favorite Christmas movies, and then like talk about big
we
Christmas
can get people
movies.
to tell us theirs.
Yeah. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Oh, we should do that. That's fun. What a good idea session we just had. We should talk more.
That's true. Now the second part of the first piece of news.
Of the news, yeah. Sorry, back to that. Hi, welcome to Ben and Marshall Do a Podcast 2.0, where we just go on tangents all day long. What's up with the news, though?
The second piece is that Blue Point, the people that have made their name now just making remakes at this point, really good ones. Like they made the Demon Souls, and I think they made the Crash Bandicoot one as well.
Oh, yeah.
Which were both extremely well received. They are supposedly working on a remake of Metal Gear Solid, which would be amazing. That game, also very, very old. I bring that up with this piece of news because Kojima created Metal Gear. And now recently, someone reached out on Twitter to David Hayter, who voices Solid Snake in the original franchise. All of them except for the newest one, that is. And he was like, they haven't asked me, but I'd love to do it. So that's what that is.
Cool.
I'd love to see this happen.
Yeah.
I have a version of it on PC. They actually just made it available to buy, the first and second one. Oh. $10 each.
Cool.
Which it's pretty fun, actually.
I never played them growing up, so I feel like it would be something that wouldn't be quite as fun without the nostalgia factor for me. There's probably other things on my...
We should totally do a video of it. Like, I can screen share, and it's really funny and jank, honestly, but it's super good.
There's just so many other games in my game library that I need to like finish through first before I can, with a good conscience, go back and play games like that. I even felt that way buying the Halos, which I never grew up on, and I really wanted to go back and play through, but it just there's so many other story-based games that I would like to finish first.
That's why I'll just play it and you can watch.
Oh, perfect. Oh.
Perfect. There you go. It works out.
What's next, Marshall?
Next piece of news is one that I wrote down today. Another piece of solid Snake news. Oscar Isaac of Star Wars and Inside Llewyn Davis fame, and also, unfortunately, X-Men fame, has been cast as Solid Snake in the movie version
I can see it.
of Metal Gear
I
Solid.
can really see it.
It's so perfect.
It's a really perfect casting, but... as with everything, it's going to be a video game movie, and I have quite low expectations. So,
the guy making it, though, is the guy who made Kong Skull Island. So, I have extreme confidence in this movie.
Yeah. Isn't it also the guy who wrote The Last Jedi? Or no, Rise of Skywalker. Sorry, Rise of Skywalker. There's a writer for Rise of Skywalker that's also writing this movie, I think.
Really?
Yeah, what's his name? I don't know.
Interesting. I think the difference, though, is that this movie is not being rushed out the door in 5 minutes. Like, this movie's been in development for a really long time. Like, they've been working on this for a while. And I have much more confidence in the guy who's directing this movie than I do in J.J. Abrams in anything.
In anything? Have you seen
anything.
Have you seen Lost?
I have, actually. And my statement stands.
Okay. Anyway, so yes, Oscar Isaac will be playing Solid Snake. Let's talk.
That's fantastic.
I can't wait to keep talking about Oscar Isaac's Solid Snake. His portrayal, his Oscar Isaac's Solid
him playing
Snake.
the character Solid Snake.
Do I need to remake that sentence? Oscar Isaac's
funny.
Solid Snake. Yeah.
Yes.
His portrayal. Anyway, moving on. Up next in the news,
yeah, you do this one.
We got some. We got some. All you Potter stands out there. The next Fantastic Beasts movie, as we all know, that there's been some controversy with that Johnny Depp guy, and he is out. He is no longer in the next Fantastic Beasts movie. That's right. But he's out on this one not because of all the controversy with whether or not there was domestic abuse in his relationship. That wasn't this one. I believe he was out.
What?
He's out on this one because he tried to sue a tabloid company in England for defamation stuff. And so I think what I was reading, I think that's actually the reason that he's out from the movie, is because he was getting some heat from that one, not necessarily all of the relational stuff. So I believe, I would need to go back and double check my sources, but that's what I was reading, and I think it was kind of like a 5 minutes of free time, found an article and read it. So I believe that's what it's about. So who's replacing him, Marshall?
Well, the man replacing the guy, Johnny Depp is his name, who is originally in the role of Grindelwald. Mads Mikkelsen.
Mads Mikkelsen is replacing Johnny Depp.
Yes, and I love Mads Mikkelsen, and he seems like a much better casting for that role in general. Your door is magically sealed.
Oh my gosh, my door just opened. It's my dog. Go away.
Oh my gosh.
Go away, dog.
Kill it with fire.
No, he's gone away. He's
if I kill it with fire, I mean give it a hug.
Yeah, thank you. The fire of love.
Yes.
So Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah. He's playing it.
That's exciting.
I don't really care about I'm not going to see this movie. I didn't see the last one. I just put it in there because it's news.
I think we talked about that in the last episode, honestly.
That's another reason that I put it in there, is because it's following up on a previous lead, a previous rumor, a hot scoop that we had.
Yeah, that's right. Following up the scoop.
Hot scoops, right up in this.
Yeah, and then the final piece of news. This is exciting.
Tell me about
HBO Max is going to be doing we're going to be getting same day releases from Warner Brothers straight to HBO Max as they come to theaters, which seems a little self-explanatory with COVID, but also is a huge news just in terms of the future of cinema. How's this going to affect direct to streaming versus direct to streaming for payment plus releasing in theaters? What's the future of the American movie theater? I think that's kind of the big news, beyond the fact that I'm very excited just to sit at home and watch these new releases on my 4K TV.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing though is that it's pretty much the only country that just has HBO Max is the United States. Everywhere else is kind of just screwed over in that vein. So this is really only an American problem at this point. This isn't really going to change anything for Australia is a notable exception. I don't think England has HBO Max, and if they do, it's really limited and through weird streaming services. So if there's going to be problems with movie theaters, and there certainly will be, because I'm certainly not going to go to the theater to see any of these movies. If COVID's gone, I'm definitely going to go to the theater to see Dune, but everything else I don't really care.
Right, yeah, I can kind of that's the nice thing, is I can kind of hand select the things that I think are worth going to see on the big screen, and other ones that I don't want to have to take an evening to go do, I can turn on and pause and keep watching later for the other releases that I don't view as being worth my time to go down to the theater,
Yeah. Feels like a shame not to see a big old sandworm on a big old screen,
Yeah, in the theater audio for sure. I can't replicate that at this point in my house. We'll give it a couple years and some saving, and we'll get her set up. But
Dolby Atmos sound.
Yeah. Also, have you ever been to a movie at an Alamo Drafthouse?
I have not.
We should go sometime. It might be my favorite movie experience of all time. They're fantastic. They have a nice vibe. They have good little teasers and fun little videos they throw in. The popcorn is like unlimited, which is really nice for $5, which is super awesome. They just keep refilling it. And it's by far the best movie experience I've ever had. Alamo Drafthouse. 10 out of 10 recommend it. Drive up to Omaha if you're a Lincolnite. Check it out. It's a good time.
Or wherever you live. Go to Omaha.
Have you gone to a movie in theaters since COVID? You haven't?
I've gone to Tenet.
Okay,
that's all.
Oh, cool. What did you say? It was pretty empty on the inside? Did it feel pretty safe enough, or?
Tenet, yeah, it was a big overall interesting, pretty idea, but it was kind of empty on the inside.
Wow, I was talking about the theater, but that works too. Yeah, I know you. That's super funny. Wow,
there weren't a lot of people there, and it's probably at this point one of the safest COVID activities you can do, because there are very few people, and the theaters are taking so many precautions.
Yeah, spreading out.
So
yeah.
It was great. I sat down, I ordered a pizza, and I ate it, and that's my story, and I'm gonna stick to it.
Let me throw these new release dates out just for the people listening.
Look at the Warner Brothers slate, and we will say yes or no if we care. Well, if we're going to see it in theaters, or if we'll watch it in the movie home, or if we even are going to watch it at all. Go.
Okay. Okay. Up first, this to kick off the new year on January 15th, we've got Mortal Kombat. Yay or nay?
I forgot that was happening. I will definitely watch that.
At home or in the theater?
At home.
Okay. Do you know how many of these are they going to be free to stream on HBO Max if I'm already paying for HBO Max, or is it like a?
I think so. It's not like a Mulan. Give us $30 for a movie you don't care about.
Dude,
thing.
That's so worth it then. Okay. Up next is
by the way, that's just streaming now.
Yeah, dang it. My dad bought that when it came out on my Disney Plus account. So great.
What an idiot.
Just kidding. It was fine. It was a fun thing to do as a family. All right. The Little Things, January 29th.
No idea what that is. I will probably watch it.
Okay, perfect.
On the HBO.
I gotta go faster.
Yes.
Up next is Tom and Jerry, March 5th.
Nope.
Won't even watch it. Okay.
Nope.
The Many Saints of Newark, March 12th.
I think I vaguely know what that is, and I will watch it on HBO Max.
Okay, perfect. Reminisce, April 16th.
No clue.
No clue.
Might watch it.
Yeah, sure. Because it sounds just because of the title.
Sounds neat.
Okay,
sounds neat.
May 21st. You might care more about this one, Marshall. Godzilla versus Kong.
Absolutely, we'll watch that. Absolutely, yes.
At home or in the theater?
If COVID is less prevalent, I will probably go in the theater.
Okay, perfect.
To hear those kaiju make their big sounds.
Okay.
Go ahead. Just like that.
June 4th, The Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Don't care about The Conjuring.
Really?
Movies. Not going to watch it at all.
I could do a watch party with some people, maybe.
I will do a watch party and watch every single Conjuring movie, but I'm not going to start with the newest one.
Okay, sounds good. I don't know if I could. They made a world out of a scary movie, which is like kind of fun, but also I don't know. It's fine. In the Heights, June 18th.
Oh yeah, definitely gonna watch that one on HBO Max.
Okay, I have not heard of that one, so it's fine.
That is Lin-Manuel Miranda's other less successful musical that he did before Hamilton.
Oh, great. Okay, perfect. Fun. Space Jam: A New Legacy. Oh, my dad is replacing Windows
movie
with
theaters.
Space Jam: A New Legacy in theaters with LeBron.
No, not gonna, HBO Max.
Okay, fine. I don't. Yeah. We'll see. The Suicide Squad, August 6th, the brand spanking new one.
Boy,
I'll see that in theaters.
I'll see that. I would see that in theaters.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go see that in theaters. The cast for that is wild.
Absolutely nuts.
Okay. October 1st, Dune. We already talked about this.
Yep, theaters.
Okay, theaters. November, we're all the way through to next November. King Richard.
OMG. King Richard? Don't know. I guess maybe.
Okay.
Maybe I'll watch it on HBO Max.
Up next is The Matrix 4, which is on December 22nd. A full year away. Full year away.
Having not seen a trailer, I say theaters.
Okay, yeah, me too. That's how I was feeling. Judas and the Black Messiah, TBA. Those Who Wish Me Dead, TBA. Malignant, TBA. And Cry Macho, TBA. I know nothing about any of those, so...
The first one, Judas and the Black Messiah, it looks really cool, and I will probably watch it on HBO Max. The other ones I've never heard of and don't care.
Okay. Cool.
Probably garbage, actually.
So
they probably suck. Did you think about that? Maybe they suck.
Out of that, shut up. Out of that list, we said Dune we would see in theaters, The Suicide Squad in theaters, The Matrix 4 potentially in theaters, and that was about it for theaters. Everything else we kind of said we would watch at home.
Wow.
Yep.
Goodbye, movie theaters. If we are the sample, that means movie theaters are dead.
No way. It's fine. Those are the big cash earners anyway. Come on.
Okay, if you say so.
You know what? If a couple specialty movie theaters stay open, I would, as long as there is at least one big screen in my vicinity, that is fine for me as a not weekly moviegoer. If I can go see some of these. Oh, yeah, like Wonder Woman 1984. Yep. Oh, wait, no, sorry. The next
That's December 25th. Yeah. That's Christmas.
Yeah, let's go. Straight to my screen. Anywho.
I am excited about that. I think that'll be good.
Yeah, hopefully back to, like, empowering Wonder Woman / Gal Gadot, and not what we got from Justice League Wonder Woman,
which is garbage.
Yep.
Anyway,
well, let's move on. We should get to the movie.
And
that's the news.
What's
and
the
that's
next
what
segment?
That's what we know.
It's your favorite segment.
I have to pull the show notes back up. Apartment news.
Apartment News, your number one source for news about Ben and Marshall's apartments. And now your host, live, Ben Herbal.
Thank you, Jonathan, for the intro. And Ben, tell me about your apartment news.
Well, currently I'm still living at home, so that's fun. With my father. You may hear him in the background. He's replacing some windows on the second floor. So I might go close my door in a second. That's the apartment news. I'm living with my dad, and it's a great time. It's good. Honestly, it's kind of nice sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm lucky to have a healthy relationship with my family, so that's good. Yeah. And
crack open a cold one with the boy.
Yeah, crack open the cold one with the pops.
That's right, pops. Let's drink some alcohol and watch the game.
We're bonding. This is how men.
Want to have
bond.
A catch in the backyard, Dad?
Yeah, come on, Dad. And then he.
This is my baseball glove from T-ball. It doesn't fit, but I'm all about sports with you, Dad.
Yeah. Don't ground me though for smoking. I don't know.
I'm just gonna sneak out and smoke marijuana.
Yeah, and be past my curfew.
Oh no!
I'm 24 years old.
Oh jeez.
Okay.
My mom just texted me and said, "Do you need milk?" What should I say?
Mom,
what should I say?
I'm not 1 year old anymore. I don't need your milk.
Okay, here I go.
Don't
I'm not 1 year old anymore. I don't need your milk.
That's so gross.
Ben.
Don't.
From the
No. Don't quote me.
I won't.
Send it.
That'd be funny though. That'd be a funny message.
Okay, we should.
Boy.
Wait, what about your apartment news while I close my door?
Well, my apartment news is I'm here in the room, and it's here. It's pretty good, and I'm looking at it, and that's pretty much... Oh, the bathroom is finally getting remodeled. They're remodeling the bathroom. It's going to get destroyed Monday, and then hopefully it'll be done by Thursday, but I'm doubting that's going to happen, so I'm probably just going to be without a bathroom for a while, so I'm not sure where I'm going to poop, really.
Whoa! What did I just walk back to?
What are you talking about? You were there the whole time?
I was here the whole time.
Yep.
Cool. Good news.
So that's apartment news.
Good. All right.
And now?
On to the show.
The movie.
Yeah, that was the intro.
I'm going to try to speed through this plot.
Yes, go for it.
But the movie we watched Spirited Away, directed by Hayao Miyazaki. I don't have the names of the Japanese voice cast, but I remember the girl who voices Chihiro is a notable actress now, and I can't remember who it is.
Cool.
But she's like someone that we would be aware of. I can't remember. It's weird. But we watched the movie Spirited Away, directed by Hayao Miyazaki, one of the all-time classic film directors. Spirited Away on many, many top films of all time lists, especially, top animated films, but also just top films in general. People love this movie, and I think there's good reason behind that. So, here we go. Here's the plot. Chihiro is moving to a new... I will say this also, it's Japanese. It's an anime movie, and it takes place in Japan. That's very important for the context of the film and the themes behind it, which I'll get into after the plot. I've written a lot of notes down.
Great.
So, Chihiro is moving into a new town with her parents. She's leaving her best friend behind, and she's sad about it. They take a shortcut of sorts to their new house, and it's a bumpy ride. They see little shrines on the way where spirits are supposedly spirits lived in. They come to an old-looking building. It's got weird vibes. Dad wants to go in, but Chihiro isn't about that. They hear a train and go looking for it. They realize they're in an abandoned theme park. Dad smells something and follows his nose to food. He finds a restaurant full of food, but seemingly no one works there. Mom and Dad chow down, but Chihiro refuses to join in because she just feels weird about it. She wanders off and finds a big bathhouse that seems to be up and running. Some boy shows up and warns her to run before night falls. Chihiro runs to get her parents to get them out of there too, but they have turned into pigs. Chihiro runs away, but the river is suddenly full, and there was a river earlier, and her dad was like, oh, looks like they were going to put in an artificial river here, but there was nothing there. She runs back, and the river is full, and she's stuck on this now island. A fairy comes towards her, and she starts turning transparent. The fairy stops and tons of spirits get out and head to the park.
Oh, fairy like Ferry.
Yeah, like a boat.
Yeah, a boat.
That's a good note. Very good distinction in this fantastical movie. The boy, who I think we know maybe at this point, his name is Haku, finds Chihiro and tells her to eat something from that world so she doesn't disappear. A freaky old woman is looking for Chihiro. A freaky old woman-bird is what I've written here, is looking for Chihiro.
Yeah.
The boy takes her quickly to the bathhouse. She has to hold her breath as she crosses the bridge, or spirits will see her. A frog stalls them, and Chihiro is seen. They run and hide. The boy tells her to run to the boiler room to get a job so Yubaba, the witch who runs the place, can't get her. Chihiro goes down to the boiler room. There's little spidery things throwing coal in one at a time into the furnace, while a man with 6 arms makes tea and cranks a wheel. Chihiro tries to introduce herself to the man, whose name is Kamaji, but he won't acknowledge her. Chihiro picks up a piece of coal, and it's super heavy, but she throws it into the furnace, and this is how she sort of ends up, in a way, getting a job from this guy for the moment. A woman comes in and sees Chihiro. Kamaji says Chihiro is his granddaughter, and that she should get a job from Yubaba. She leaves her socks and shoes behind. That's probably important for some reason, but I haven't thought too much about it. Chihiro follows the woman to Yubaba. Who is the woman, Lin is her name, gets stuck behind, but Chihiro keeps heading up. Yubaba pulls Chihiro into her office, and she asks for a job. After a bit of argument and an encounter in the back room with a weird giant baby, Yubaba gives her a job as like a kind of just janitor or something. And she also signs away her name, and she changes her name then to Sen. So, Sen, as she is now called, is assigned to be Lin's assistant. Haku comes to Sen and tells her to meet with him at the bridge that they were on earlier so he can take her to her parents. Sen goes to the bridge and sees a spirit there. When she looks back, it's gone. Apparently, if you forget your name, you can never leave this place, so you have to remember your original name. Haku then turns into a dragon and flies away. The spirit from the bridge is following Sen. Sen gets to work, and she sucks at it. Sen goes to throw out some water and sees the spirit from the bridge. She leaves the door open for him. The spirit sneakily helps Sen in a few different ways. The spirit comes to give Sen a bunch of bath tokens, but she says she doesn't need them. But then a stink spirit, supposedly, this big old stinky spirit, comes into the bathhouse, and Yubaba's like, the perfect way to get rid of this girl. We'll give her this job that is basically impossible for her to do because she doesn't know what she's doing. And she sends this stink spirit over to them, but they don't know that she has all of these bath tokens. So if she puts all these bath tokens in there, and it cleans this guy out, and it turns out he was a river spirit, and he gives her a little ball of whatever, some healing medicine. And blah, blah, blah. A frog then, later, goes to clean and finds the bridge spirit in a bath. It tempts him with gold, and then it eats him. Oof, my nose. I'm good. I'm good. Everything's fine. The bridge spirit has everyone worked up over gold, and Sen goes looking for Haku. Haku returns in dragon form is being attacked by paper birds. Sen tries to run for help to help him. Meanwhile, the bridge spirit is just throwing gold at everybody, and everybody's doing everything they can to get the gold from this guy. And he's just getting bigger and bigger and more like fat and over the top, like gluttonous and huge, and just like kind of just theatrically indulgent. And then he sees Sen on the way up to go help Haku and tries to offer her gold, but she won't take any. She's not about that, and she just wants to go up and help Haku. Sen climbs up to the top of the bathhouse. Yubaba has returned, and she found out that the bridge spirit is a no-face. Not exactly sure what that means. I don't think it's ever exactly explained. Maybe it's just, that's this guy's name. Whatever. The baby from earlier grabs hold of Sen and threatens to break her arm if she doesn't play with her. Yubaba's twin sister, Zeniba, has come to kill Haku, but Haku manages to get rid of her. Sen and Haku go to the boiler room, and Sen uses her medicine from the river spirit to heal him with the help of Kamaji. Haku showed up out of nowhere originally, just like Sen. This is all according to Kamaji. He became Yubaba's apprentice and hasn't been the same away since. Sen offers to go and... the reason that Zeniba was trying to kill Haku is because Haku had stolen her golden seal from her, and she needs that or something. It's a magical thing. I don't know. So Sen offers to go and give it back to Yubaba. No, not back to Yubaba, back to Zeniba to apologize to her. Lin comes down and says they're mad because Sen apparently was the one who let No Face in, and she's going to take the train one way to go to Zeniba and save Haku. She goes to see first, though. She goes to see No Face. Sen gives No Face the rest of the medicine from the river spirit, and he starts vomiting and raging. Like, all of this stuff that he's been eating, all the people that he's been eating, start, like, flying back out of his mouth, and he goes back to his regular size. No Face gets more and more tired as he chases Sen and continues just vomiting all these things up. Sen heads to the train, and No Face gets on too. They're kind of just like chill friends at this point. Sen heads to the train. They both get on the train. Beautiful train montage. Gorgeous, just quiet, chilled out, beautifully animated montage of the train sequence. So good. Big fan. Haku wakes up and Kamaji explains what happened. Yubaba realizes that her baby has been taken. That's important. Earlier, when Zeniba was there and trying to kill Haku and everything, she turns the big baby into a little mouse. And now that mouse is with Sen, who is heading to Zeniba. That's extremely important for what's about to happen, actually. Yubaba realizes her baby has been taken. Haku makes a deal with Yubaba. He'll get the baby back if she releases Sen and her parents, but if Sen fails a final test, then she's stuck there forever. Sen and No Face head to see Zeniba. A hopping lamp guides them. Zeniba is suddenly, apparently, really nice. Sen and No Face head to see... Oh, I already said that part. Sen gives the seal back to Zeniba. Apparently, the black slug that was accompanied with it at the time was not a creation of Zeniba. It was something that Yubaba had put into Haku to control him. And when it was destroyed, that control was, lost, which is why he was able to challenge her earlier and why he continues to. Zeniba gives Sen a protective hair tie. Haku comes to get her and the baby. No Face stays with Zeniba. Sen remembers Haku's name. He was the spirit of the Kohaku River, and he once saved her life, which kind of comes out of nowhere and seems, I don't know, it's just a weird addition. They return to Yubaba, and she's adamant about giving Sen a final test, despite everyone wanting her to release Sen without it. The test... She has to remember which pigs are her parents. She guesses that none of them are. She's right. Yay! Sen, now Chihiro again, returns to her parents who have no memory of any of this. And that's the movie.
They drive off.
And they drive off. I don't know what that was. What song was that I just tried to sing?
I was thinking more of like the end of an old Hulk TV show.
It's just sad Bill Bixby walking away. Another day, another town destroyed, and everyone hates me.
Marshall, give me in conclusion to that, give me a 3-sentence summary. What do I need to know about this movie? What's the overall 3-sentence summary?
Grow into who you need to be, but don't forget where you came from and who you were.
Oh, I was picturing like girl shows up, girl interacts, girl leaves.
Yes.
Like very brief, like girl shows up, finds mysterious place, turns out it's spirit world, gets stuck, does a bunch of stuff and interacts with spirits, and then saves parents who were once pigs and leaves.
Go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the overall plot.
Yeah.
With all that mixed in. It's so through all of that, I think I'm reminded, Marshall, that that it's a complicated movie. There's like a lot of weird stuff that happens, and like plot wise, it's not like animated kids movie, very clear theme by the end of it where I look back and say, when you tell the truth, good things happen. Or, here's the moral of the story. Don't change yourself to impress people. Like there's a lot of stuff going on, and at times hard to follow the plot. I mean, partially because it's like a movie about a haunted carnival /
it's wildly fantastical
destination trip for spirits. So it's kind of hard to follow plot with that, but that's the kind of thing. There's a lot of stuff, like a good book almost. You can take a lot of different themes out of a good book. It's not like cut or dry. It's not like we're reading a kid's book here. We're reading a novel.
Yeah. And like I think like even I was saying earlier, even me, like I was just watching a video about the movie earlier, and just because it's been a little bit now since we watched it, because we postponed for however long, and I wanted a little refresher, so I was watching this video, and there are so many things that went completely over my head that me, as someone who gets so deep into this stuff, I'm mind blown that I didn't realize these things. Because it should have been so obvious to me. And maybe if I wasn't, also into like Japanese cinema and stuff like that, and like old Kurosawa movies and things, I would be less surprised. But like I have a lot of the historical context that goes into a lot of this stuff. So I'm kind of like, how did I not see this? Like, this is so clear.
Yeah, give me one of the most mind-blowing ones for you.
So the larger symbolism of the movie is about like post-war Japan and overindulgence in capitalism. And I have no idea how I didn't see that. So like the amusement park is designed like traditional pre-World War II Japan, with the theme of greed throughout the movie, like reflecting the economic boom that happened at the end of World War II for Japan. And also the move towards capitalism and away from traditional values.
Right. They become a protectorate of the United States for a while.
Yeah.
They adopt market capitalism, and like now that makes them who they are today, because they become they industrialize a bunch of stuff. They start making a lot of things. There's a lot of competition. It's all about, it becomes in essence, moving away from traditional ideas and more into like Western ideas, or like U.S. Under like the U.S. sphere of influence in the Cold War.
Japan, I mean, as opposed to like the United States, Japan being a place that has like such an interesting and unique and specific culture and tradition built up behind it. It's like there's not really a comparison for that really across the entire world, but especially you can't just compare the United States to that, because we don't have that at all. So that's maybe part of why I missed that, is because like I just don't have that perspective on things, because we don't have some long storied culture like the Japanese do. And like there's a lot of imagery in the real world of the movie, of the derelict shrines and stuff and old houses, where there is specifically the line at the beginning of the movie, like, what are those? Chihiro doesn't know what these little things are, and her mom is even dismissive of them. She says, oh, well, those are shrines. Some people think that spirits live in those. Like, her mom doesn't believe this stuff, it seems like. And Chihiro doesn't even know what they are. Like, all of these things are more or less forgotten, derelict, gone away with.
Sure.
And that's so interesting to me. And like Chihiro's parents, they go to this to the amusement park, and they smell the food, and they just start chowing down. And throughout the movie, there's this theme of like overindulgence and gluttony and greed. And they eat all of this food, and when she comes back, they've turned into pigs. And pigs, right?
Yeah.
Are a traditional sign of capitalism.
Yeah.
So and that is the most hit it on the head obvious thing. That blows. It kills me that I didn't see that.
Right. Or that there's different levels to it, where like, yeah, any person could say they were greedy and ate a lot of food and they became pigs. Like that's like the classic story. Like a kid could watch that and get that idea. But then you get to like the multi-layered and you start to see the symbolism. Yeah. Or like the theme that Chihiro doesn't take anything the whole movie. Like she doesn't eat any of the food. She gets offered gold like everybody else and she doesn't take it. So she's kind of like the moral compass within the movie of she's never the gluttonous one. She's not taking any of the gold. She's not taking any of the food. And like you start to peel back the layers and it's a really deep movie. Which also makes me think of like, yes, plot wise, very, very deep, lots of layers, but in the animation, very deep, lots of layers where,
oh my gosh,
where not like, and I know that it always turns into a debate between like Disney and what is it? What company is this? Studio Ghibli. And like who's better, Disney or Studio Ghibli? And
it's Ghibli. It's Studio Ghibli, 100%.
But there's the attention to detail in every. I'm not going to get into it.
Go ahead.
The attention to detail in every layer, every piece, every background character is unique and not repeated, and the set pieces in the background. I think that's the biggest thing is like the detail to the set piece in the background, even if it's a 3-minute scene or if it's a 3-second scene, the detail that they committed to it
it's just beautiful.
It's super deep. Yeah. Which I think, I don't know. I think I definitely need to give it a rewatch because I think there's so much of it that's weird watching it the first time. Or you're like, this is kind of, I don't get this. This is weird to me. But I think like if I were to go back and watch it again multiple times, I would have more of an appreciation for the characters or the character arcs of certain people. And I don't know. It's a plot wise very deep. Lots of things you can take out of it. Animation wise, a lot you can take out of it. Which I think is why it. I'll say why I think it is so popular, Marshall, and you can say what you think. I think off the bat, I was like, I don't get the hype. It's like a fine movie. Yeah. I'm kind of bored. With this right now.
Me too.
It's not that good. But as you look at it, I think the layers to it, whether it's the animation or the plot, it's something that like a kid could watch and walk away from and be like, oh, that was a fine movie. And then you could watch it again when you're a little older, watch it again. Or a parent, I can watch this and there's a lot of depth to this story and it's really pretty for me to watch. And it's maybe is kind of a feel good movie by the end of it. And like anybody could watch it. I don't know. I think timelessness wise, or why it's so popular, the art is really beautiful and the story has some actual meat and depth to it, unlike other maybe quote unquote kids movies, or if you watched a Disney movie that you didn't grow up with, like a princess movie or another animated Disney movie, like a 2D animated movie, you may say there's no nostalgia for me, so it's like I watch it once and I'm done, right? Versus this is maybe something I want to come back to and watch again or look at again. Why do you think it's such a popular movie?
I think I was kind of in the same place for a lot of it. I was like, I'm not sure that I get the hype. Like it's the score is beautiful, the music is beautiful, the animation is beautiful. Everything about this movie is gorgeous, like for the eyes and the ears, absolutely incredible visually. And that's just a staple of Studio Ghibli overall. So that wasn't exactly what I was looking at necessarily. I was trying to figure out, well, like, why is Spirited Away the one? Why isn't it Howl's Moving Castle or Ponyo or all these other things, whatever?
Right.
And I think it is because of these larger themes and everything that you can come back and look at. Because if I had seen all these things as I was watching it, I think I would have gotten a lot more out of it. And I think that's why I would want to watch it a second time. Like we could do a commentary track. That'd be kind of funny.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be really interesting to go back and watch it again, seeing all these things about capitalism and greed and post-war Japan and moving away from traditional values and stuff like that.
I think that there's something about this movie that speaks more to being human than maybe some other classic American animated movies do. I think that like something I was looking at was that in this movie there's not necessarily like really good guys and really bad guys. Like Chihiro is like clearly like the compass kind of as you go of goodness or innocence, and you see her character develop from someone who's really scared and meek at the beginning to growing up in a sense over the course of the movie and becoming strong and you know taking action. But the other characters, like there's times where they're like bad, quote unquote, and times where they're good, which I think is a lot more interesting to look at rather than like big bad guy the whole movie that you know is a bad guy and the quintessential of evil or can never be good, versus like there's a lot of characters in this that you start off and they're really rough and then you start to like love the character, or even like No Face is like mysterious and interesting at the beginning and then turns into kind of an evil presence, and then like in the end you see was a complicated character that was dealing with a lot of loneliness or grief and like fed it with the wrong things. And once you care about that person or help that person, then you start to see that like, oh, they're that character is not scary or not evil. They were, you know, just stuck in a lot of really hard things, which I think just speaks to the human experience more of the characters. Like there's not necessarily a right or wrong all the time, beyond the fact that Chihiro wants to get her parents back, which feels wrong for her parents to have been turned into pigs, but also they were evil. Like they were gluttonous at the beginning and they got stuck in it, but once they were I mean, she still tried to free them from that. I don't know, everybody's kind of complicated in this movie, which I think is more interesting to talk about with you rather than like Aladdin, or rather than talking about like old,
like what are the deeper themes of Aladdin.
Right. Like, which I can still talk about. I can still do that.
There's probably something.
I think Aladdin is to me the most the princess movie that moved me the most, perhaps, out of all the Disney quote unquote princess movies. Where there's probably a better word for it than that. But anyway, sorry, we can save that for another day. I think out of all of them, that's the only one that like maybe made me emotional. That and Tarzan. Tarzan got me for some reason.
Tarzan's very good.
And anyway,
I want to know. Can you show me?
Yeah.
I want to know about these people like you.
Yeah. I want to trash the camp. Scooby Doo, booby doo, Scooby Doo, dooby doo. Yeah.
Doop doop no doop no. That's that song.
We do. Anyway,
Phil Collins.
So
Phil Collins did not have to go so hard on that soundtrack, but he did.
Gosh, it's so
Phil Collins
good.
Gave us a gift.
Yeah, seriously. Ugh.
Oh my gosh.
God bless.
Man.
Anyway,
yeah, I think what you're saying makes a lot of sense. Of like, there's a lot of gray area. Like, they're not presenting this as like just a good and evil story. Like, they're showing that people have depth and people change.
Yeah.
Like, Yubaba is the more or less the villain of this movie, but then at the end, her baby is just like, hey, you should actually just be nice to them. And she's like, oh, I guess maybe I should. Like, the villain learns something. The villain just doesn't, get smashed by a house or melt or anything like that, like they actually learn something. And I think that's really interesting. Or with No Face, like No Face kind of like embodies that greed and capitalism and stuff and being consumed by it, and then literally consuming others in his own endeavors and everything like that. And then when Chihiro says, well, no, I don't want gold, that's him seeing like, oh, there's another way. Like, I don't have to, this isn't the only thing that life comes down to.
Yeah. Or like can get people to do the things I want. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, people will care about me just because it's the right thing to do, not just because I can give them something.
Yeah, or because I have value in and of myself rather than the gold that I can make. Yeah, definitely. Oof! Wow! Look at this! Look at us go.
Yeah, I thought another thing that was like so obvious. Probably the most obvious thing that I didn't realize was the emphasis on remembering your name. Is that if you forget your name, then you are stuck there forever, and that's like, now looking back, very clearly Miyazaki saying like, we can't forget Japan and our long storied culture and who we are. Like, if we forget who we are, then we can't go back. Like, we can't, if we can't just become a Eastern United States
Yeah.
Like, I think that's really interesting. That he, like, this is a movie of him just urging people not to forget who Japan is in a time of great change, and that's fascinating to me. Because when did this come out? What was this?
Late 80s.
Look
or
it up,
90s.
Benny.
Late 80s or 90s. Let's see. Spirited Away release date. Oh, Japan release date 2002 in the United States.
Yeah.
I'm still just getting the U.S. date. Released theatrically in Japan 2001.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So,
yeah, I don't know. Did I have any other? Did I write any special thoughts on the movie?
I think you could say too that. I think in terms of animes, it is watchable by a U.S. audience. It's less foreign than it could be. I know that right now the biggest I think the biggest anime in Japan right now is like huge. All the kids have the backpacks, have the t-shirts at school, all that stuff, and there's like it's really violent. They're more okay with kids watching violent animes, like people getting their heads chopped off, anime characters with enlarged sexual organs, if you will, slash body parts that you would see and you'd go, oh gosh, that's not appropriate, but like kids watch it there. So culturally, anime is a little more rough, not for like if I were to like show my kids some anime, right? Which is why you get more people in like their teens and 20s who are into anime. But Spirited Away, I think, is it is family friendly, and the themes of it you can watch as a U.S. citizen and get, or it makes sense, and so I think that helps it as well. Although I think like probably the average American would start watching this and be like, give me Disney, or give me what I'm comfortable with, or
which is a shame.
I don't know. Yeah, it is a shame, but also, I don't know. Like, was my life dramatically changed by Spirited Away? Probably not. I'm glad I watched it. I'm glad I know. But this is just on my end of things. I think it was a really great film, and it was a really great introduction. I have not seen any of the other Studio Ghibli stuff, so I'm excited to watch through more of that. I don't know. I would throw on this movie, but also I can see why most Americans may not. Yeah,
because Americans are all big Dumbo Brians, if you know what I mean. That's right.
I am one of them.
Well, Ben?
What?
Spirited Away, yes or no?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, I also say yes.
Yes.
Yes is the thing that I am saying
Easy
now.
peasy. Easy freaking peasy.
Yes.
All right,
Marshall,
we're just over an hour. Yeah, just over an hour at this point.
Ready for the next part?
Yeah, I'm ready for the next part. Hit me with it.
Here it is, IMDb trivia. There wasn't actually a lot of very interesting trivia for this, which I was kind of surprised. But here's what I've got. Despite having a rich plot with developed characters, Spirited Away 2001 was not made with a script. In fact, Miyazaki's films never had scripts.
What?
I don't write. This is now a quote from him. Blah, 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 blah. Here we go. Now I'm going to say the quote, and I'm not going to mess it up again. Probably. I don't have the story finished and ready when we start working on a film, the filmmaker told Midnight Eye. I usually don't have the time. So the story develops when I start drawing storyboards. The production starts very soon thereafter, and the storyboards are still developing. Miyazaki does not know where the plot is going, and he lets it happen organically. It's not me who makes the film. The film makes itself, and I have no choice but to follow. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
I mean, and also, I guess it kind of speaks to the way that these movies are, like, they're so beautiful and so driven by these unique visual ideas.
Yeah, set pieces and yeah.
Oh, that was another thing. The furnace in the bathhouse is shaped like a pig. They're literally feeding the flame.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Because it's like the thing that opens and closes is like a jaw. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I didn't realize
I didn't notice that. Yeah.
Holy
and
balls,
I watched the video
man.
and I was like, it is. So OMG.
Yeah.
I guess that fits in IMDb trivia.
Yeah.
That's a good piece of IMDb trivia.
Wow, that is super fun.
The
I'm thinking
cleansing.
sorry,
Yes, go ahead.
sorry.
Yes,
I'm just
what?
sitting
Yes.
here thinking
go ahead.
that.
No, yes.
that
Go ahead, Ben. Yes. Go ahead, Ben. Go ahead. Yes.
I think the homage to like historical Japanese culture, I think if I was slightly deeper into Japanese culture, I would find it probably a lot more like mind-blowing and beautiful. And I think I do need to give it a rewatch and just let myself like sit in the moments of it all, instead of, I think I was a little bit in the mental state of like needing to watch this movie so we could talk about it. And I think if I was just in a slightly better state of just like sitting and letting the story happen in front of me and not like, I think I was oftentimes looking at the clock like, is it over yet? Is it over? I want to finish so I can talk to Marshall about it. And I think if I was in just like a slightly more just, I need to sit and enjoy and watch this story and this environment and think about like Japanese history or like spiritualism, Japanese spirituality. I think I would have viewed this differently. And I think I need to give it a second watch, maybe in like 6 months or so. I think that could be good for me. Sorry, keep going.
6 seconds
from now. Here we go. HBO Max.
Miyazaki.
Sorry, go ahead, Marshall. Fun fact number 2.
Yes.
That is crazy,
the
though.
Cleansing
no
of the River Spirit. What'd you say?
I was just saying it's
What?
crazy he didn't write a script beforehand. It's kind of just, he just gets going. That's crazy.
The
River Spirit.
The Cleansing of the River Spirit is based on a real-life incident in Hayao Miyazaki's life, in which he participated in the cleaning of a river, removing, among other things, a bicycle.
Wow, cool.
Just
Neato.
like they took out of the guy in the movie.
Yeah, that's crazy, huh? Wow. Some environmentalism in there, huh? Let's clean up some rivers.
Yes.
Let's get out of there.
The characters in Spirited Away reflected I guess the names of the characters. The names of the characters in Spirited Away reflect who they are. Bo means little boy or son. Kamaji means old boiler man. Yubaba means bathhouse witch. And Zeniba means money witch. The heroine, Chihiro, means 1,000 fathoms or searches, while her worker name, Sen, just means 1,000.
Wow. Huh. Cool.
Wow.
Culture.
Crazy.
That's something you don't get as an American.
So interesting.
I
was wondering what the significance was there when they
names.
changed her name, because you can see that she just
sure.
takes out part of the name. She's not completely changing it.
Right.
So,
yes. Yeah. When you're looking at the characters, the Japanese characters. Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting. That's what I have to say about that. Well, that's been IMDb trivia, and that's the movies.
Cool.
But Ben, I have a question for you.
Yeah, hit me with it.
I want to know, Ben, what you been watching? What you been listening to? What you been getting into? Reading? Looking at?
Oh my. So I've had a bit of a Star Wars kick this last week. I watched. I have not watched the most recent Mandalorian episode, but I saw 2 episodes ago, Marshall, with the introduction of Ahsoka and giving a name to Baby Yoda, and
that was 1 episode ago.
Oh, sorry, 1 episode ago. My bad. I didn't watch last night's episode, is what I'm trying to say. I have not watched last night's. So that was great, fantastic. Oh my gosh, what an episode! The references, however, not super subtle, to like Japanese movie, samurai movie, and then also tying in the fact, like I think this season of Mandalorian has been much more cowboy Mando, and so while there's like Japanese samurai duel happening in like the pagoda, Mando is standing outside the gate in like a Western duel, like at 20 paces. Showdown stare off, so it's like cowboy movie, which was influenced by samurai movies, and George Lucas, who was influenced by samurai movies and cowboy movies, like all into one episode, which I think was just super sweet. And then like kind of some ninja movie as they're like running over the rooftops. It was just like it was really cool. I like that episode a lot.
And if you listeners want to hear more about samurai movies and how they influenced American and Italian westerns, like A Fistful of Dollars, then you can listen to episode 11 of Ben and Marshall Do a Podcast, where me and the original Ben talked about Yojimbo and A Fistful of Dollars. Because Yojimbo is the all-time classic samurai movie directed by Akira Kurosawa, classic samurai film director. If you haven't watched this movie, you absolutely should.
Yeah, it's
and
really
then
good.
A Fistful of Dollars is the movie that kind of revitalized Westerns and created this anti-hero character of the man with no name and popularized anti-heroes in general, and then kickstarted the whole genre of spaghetti Westerns and the Dollars trilogy, ending with The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And it is, The Fistful of Dollars is a direct ripoff of Yojimbo. There are so many scenes that are exactly the same. Like, and in this episode too, the moment when Ahsoka is walking towards the gate, and it's just like all of these people there, and then just her.
Yes,
that's ripped directly out of Yojimbo.
Yeah. In like the street when it's like everybody and him. Yeah. That's right. Wow, that's crazy, dude. That's,
episode 11 of Ben and Marshall Do podcast. Check it out if you want to hear more.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So with that, I ordered a Star Wars RPG game. It is Star Wars Edge of the Galaxy, where it's
Are you talking about like a tabletop RPG?
Yeah, tabletop RPG. Yes.
Dude, yes.
So it's, they have like a really handy dandy little pack. You can either buy just like the source material for it. The issue with this one, it's come from Top Flight Simulator game or whatever it's called. Top Flight. What's the name of it? Flight Games. What's the name of it? Star Wars. Sorry, let me look it up really quick. Oh, Fantasy Flight Games is the company who makes the Star Wars RPG. There's like 3 different sets within it. There's like what's it called? Force and Destiny, which is like if you want to do more of like the Jedi RPG side. I got the one that's more Edge of the Galaxy, so bounty hunters, smugglers, all that kind of scum. Yeah. And then there's one more that's more like you're part of the rebellion. It comes with its own dice set and all that stuff. You can just buy the source material and write your own, but they have a handy dandy little $20 intro like story hook that you can get that kind of like teaches you all the mechanics. And so like it creates little moments where it's like here's your first time hiding and being stealthy, and here's your first time entering combat, and here's your first time having some space combat, and it puts you through the motions because you're escaping. You and your friends are escaping from imprisonment from the Hutts, and the Hutts are chasing you down, and you're trying to get off of Tatooine.
Dude.
So anyway, so I got that, and I've been reading through that little story hook and trying to figure out how to set that up. So
are you going to DM a game?
I think so. I'm trying to figure out who else is going to be. I think my sister wants to be in it. Marshall, if you're interested, you could pop over and join in. It's going to be a fun time. So anyway, so I'm very Star Warsy, and I was in the mood for telling a Star Wars story, and I've been spending a lot more time on like the Wikipedia and like reading a bunch of backstory for things just because I don't know, it's just really interesting because I never read any of the books, the Star Wars books, and like what is it, like Legends, and what's the different canons.
Lucky that 90% of that stuff doesn't count now, so you don't have to.
I know. Yeah.
But
now it's now they're just using the Mandalorian as an excuse to bring all of that stuff back into canon, so that's nice.
Well, I mean, they did the same thing with Star Wars Rebels that's when they reintroduced Thrawn.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. So I don't know much about Thrawn. I need to spend some time doing some more research as the storyline's about to come back into play. So new baddie.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I love the Star Wars D&D stuff. My introduction to Dungeons & Dragons style games was playing in a game DM'd by a guy you might know named AJ Arbogast.
Nope.
Who, it was a possibility. You know him, I don't know.
Yeah, I know
But
people.
he and his family, like, I'm obsessed with Star Wars, right? I've spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars on lightsabers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, they look incredibly cool on this camera because, like, I'm going to show you. Hold on.
Okay. All right. Hey, listener. Marshall's getting his nerdy lightsaber. Hey, Google, turn the lights off. Yeah. Okay.
So this is a visual only for Ben.
Okay.
But
I'll describe it. It looks like Anakin's. It looks like Anakin's saber. Is that?
It is.
Is that Anakin's? Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So this is like my nice like metal lightsaber and everything. But this camera is so like just low quality enough that it just looks like it has the right effects on it when I turn it on.
Lovely. Hello. Oh my gosh. Dude, that's fantastic. Was it worth every penny?
Zoom.
Do you ever just... Oh, that's so good. My ear. Ouch. Take my headphones off. Dude, that is fantastic. Do you ever just get home and stand around and you're like, I'm kind of lonely and kind of bored. Guess I'll get my lightsaber out.
Absolutely. Dude, my lightsaber buying days are probably over. I have extra money right now because I don't have to pay rent for this month because it's the last month that the current landlord is owning the house. And I should probably spend that money on medical bills. I could pay off pretty much an entire medical bill, but I desperately want to get one last lightsaber, and it's my favorite character's lightsaber, and it's pretty much just the right amount to do it.
Why be debt-free when you could have a cool lightsaber?
I know, man, and it's so cool.
Marshall,
Jairus.
I'm going to encourage you to pay off your medical bill.
I know. It's so cool, though. I'm going to show it to you in a bit here, but it's so cool.
Okay.
Computer, turn on Showtime in Marshall's bedroom.
Oh, Showtime.
I will clarify that Showtime is for the show. Oh. It is not for other activities.
It's
Showtime.
It's Showtime.
Showtime, it is a light scheme that matches the logo. That's what it is.
Okay.
Actually, I don't like it for the lighting currently. Computer, turn on bright.
Okay. Wow. I thought you were going to start watching a Showtime TV show when you're ready.
No.
Yeah, no.
I don't like trash.
Marshall, it's your
computer,
turn.
Stop.
It's your turn. I talked about my Star Wars RPG, which I'm sure the audience will be clamoring to play with me. So yeah, hit me up.
We could record it.
I'm taking applications.
Yeah, my introduction to D&D was the Star Wars stuff. So I've played a lot of Star Wars RPG.
Was it like 5th edition?
And so I was a Jedi for the first campaign that started at the beginning of the Clone Wars and then went all the way up to Order 66.
Oh, nice.
Was our last session.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
It was nuts. So I started out as a Padawan on Geonosis.
That's really cool.
And then we made all kinds of emotional connections to the clones and all kinds of things. It was so cool.
That's really sweet.
And then we did another campaign in the middle that was kind of like during the rebellion, and we were like a ragtag Guardians of the Galaxy style group, and I was like a Han Solo type character. That one didn't really go anywhere, but then we went and started up again and started doing one that was, I also believe, during the rebellion, and I was like, AJ, can I play my character from the Clone Wars, but like older and grizzled? He was like, that's an amazing idea.
That's awesome.
So I played my Jedi character, but older and stuff, and I built him in such a specific way that like from the outset, he was like ridiculously powerful in the Force and stuff. So it wasn't like I was having the same, like, it's the sequel to the first video game problem where you've done all these upgrades and things throughout the main game, and then you play the new one, and it's like, well, here's a weird convoluted story reason that you don't have any of your stuff anymore, so you have to do it all again for this video game. I didn't have that because I'm really good at making D&D characters.
That's fantastic. So, cool, dude. Yeah, let's check it out sometime. Yeah, I'm curious how this dice system will work without just using D20s and things like that. So we'll see. I'm excited to try it out. We'll keep you updated on the pod. Yeah, good stuff.
10 out of 10. What have I been watching, Ben? I'll tell you. Mm-hmm. I am almost through The West Wing.
Nice. Oh, sweet.
West Wing is leaving Netflix on December 24th.
Oh.
And I have like 5 episodes left. So it's not going to... I might finish it today, honestly. Because what else am I going to do? Be productive? No. So yeah, West Wing, Mandalorian. Last episode was really good. I would love to talk to you about it, but I won't because you're an idiot and you haven't watched it.
Sorry, I'm one day behind.
It's okay. I love you still.
Oh, I love you too.
It's a great episode, though. I really enjoyed it, and that's more or less all I will say. I feel like it moved the plot forward in the way that it needed to be moved forward for multiple episodes now.
Cool.
So
nice.
Yeah, I liked it. I don't know, what else have I been doing? Have I been playing any new games? Have we been playing any new games, guys?
You started playing that Shadow thing. No. What's that new?
Shadow.
What's that new game that you guys were talking about in the Discord?
Shadow.
That new
Hunt
Showdown.
Hunt Showdown. Yeah. Yes. Did you get Hunt?
I did not. Nope.
Ben, you big Dumbo Brian.
I'm sorry. There's so many other games I told myself I needed to play before I spent more money.
You're right. I
apologize. I got to finish Force Awakens. Or not Force Awakens. Whatever the balls is called.
Force Unleashed.
No, not Force Unleashed.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Fallen Order. Thank you. Yeah. Not Force Unleashed.
That's a good game.
Take me back to middle school. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Yes. Anyway.
Yeah, we started playing Hunt Showdown. We played like one session of it. Haven't gotten back into it yet, but I'm excited to get back into it. It is very interesting and very difficult, and I like it.
Cool.
It's very cool.
Cool.
So
very cool. Very nice.
Yeah. I think it would be fun to do like a Knights of the Old Republic playthrough together.
Yeah.
Have you played KOTOR before?
Just like I think I've logged like 2 hours and then never picked it up again.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it would be fun to like I could screen share and we could go through it together
and make
put
decisions.
Put that on the internet and try to decide what we're gonna do.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
I feel like that could be something because I don't really know the overall story. I unfortunately know the big twist,
right?
Which is sad, but I don't know. I think that could be fun, or like the Metal Gear thing could be interesting since that's even more of an open. I don't know really much about it, and it's kind of convoluted and wild.
Yeah,
I don't know. Different ideas. I feel like that could be a fun thing to do. Just throw that out there.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll figure out something fun to do on the internet one of these days.
We got to do something with the YouTube channel eventually. It's just sitting there out of use.
Getting dusty.
Yeah. Well, Ben, this has been a show, and I've been Marshall, and this is the show that we did, and it was really good. This has been the show.
It was so good.
If you want to contact the show, I am at mparish_art on Instagram. That's PARISH. That's on Instagram and on, I believe, on Facebook. That is the @, but it's not the actual title because it was jank and it won't let me change it for however long. So I need to change that. But also on Twitter. So Twitter and Instagram for sure. Maybe Facebook. I don't know. Great Scub Do on Twitch and YouTube. It's SCUBDU, where Ben and Marshall do a podcast on Instagram. And benandmarshallpod@gmail.com. Let's see if we've gotten any emails. Let's see how empty it is. Hold on.
What's the email?
benandmarshallpod@gmail.com. Here's our latest email. You're receiving this email because we're updating the YouTube terms of service to clarify our terms and provide transparency to our users. These changes shouldn't signify... Oh, wait, I think this is from YouTube. This isn't the person.
Oh, my gosh.
That was very misleading. But yeah, if you have any questions, action question. What do you think is the best animated movie? What do you think is the... Not for you, Ben.
Oh, sorry. Oh.
What do you, the listeners, think is the best animated movie ever made? Why? What's your favorite, and why do you think it's the best?
You're assuming we have listeners.
Shoot us an email, shoot us a DM.
An hour and 15
Tell us
minutes
why.
in.
We'll talk. We'll bring it up next week.
Okay, I'll do that.
That's what I say.
I'll do that.
Ben, where can people find you?
At my house, 5429 Betty Lou Boulevard. That's not my house anymore. I moved.
Okay. Cool. I was like, did you dox yourself? Do I have to edit this now?
No, that's not where I live. I have an Instagram. I don't really use it. I have a Twitter. I don't use it. But if you want to send me something, it's a b.herbal. I think. Yeah. Is that what I'm at? I don't know. I don't have them. So. I don't have them on my phone anymore either. So sometimes I get on my computer and look at my Instagram DMs once a month, and that's about it. So, yep. DM me and I'll get back to you within a month. Okay.
Well,
also I need to repost podcast things. I still haven't done that. I'm sorry. You've asked me a couple of times and I just haven't ever done it. I apologize.
Yeah. I'm going to put that on our shared Google Calendar. I'm going to have specific days that we do that, and then that way it'll be easier
social
to
media blast. Yeah, let's do it.
And then I will continue to pry and prod if it doesn't happen.
Sounds good.
We need your listener base, sir.
I appreciate you.
I appreciit you. This is a hand thing that we're doing
This
now.
is our metal hand. Metal! It's so metal!
Metal!
Rock on!
So do we want... Hold on, let me look at the calendar real quick. So today...
Can we just end the podcast?
No, hold on, wait.
But people want to go, Marshall.
No, hold on. Well, not if we're doing a good show, they don't. Hold on. So the 22nd... Our next episode will be on Tuesday the 22nd, assuming everything goes correctly.
Yes, right before Christmas.
And that's right before Christmas, so that's perfect.
For Christmas movies. Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Another action question for you.
Yes.
People, email us, Instagram us, tell us, what's your favorite Christmas movie? And we will talk about that. Please send us your favorite Christmas movie, and those are the ones that we will talk about.
Okay, yeah.
Send us Christmas movies. Tell us all about it.
Yeah.
We will talk about them.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a post about it, too.
Okay, perfect.
So, thanks, everybody, for listening. This has been the show. I've been Marshall.
I've been Ben.